The following program is brought to you by Podcast One Sportsnet. Direct from the heart of Lakers Nation, Podcast One Sportsnet brings you America's Lakers Podcast with Jay Mohr, the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers. Get the inside scoop without the gossip about your favorite team that lives up to the purple and gold standard. Here's your host, Jay Mohr.
Hello, hello. No, I didn't.
It is a special edition of America's Lakers podcast on a Tuesday night after the Lakers have defeated the Boston Celtics, the hated Boston Celtics, 108-107.
Are you going to tell me the last shot of the game,
Al, I'm trying to...
Celtics, they let Antoine Walker chuck it
Al,
29 feet. Hoo-ha!
I'm trying to do my thing here, Al.
You're an absentee landlord, Aaron. Lakers win, purple and gold standard.
I was trying... We have a guest here. What, we got to do this now?
Pretty lady.
We have to fight in front of the... Why do we have to fight in front of the children?
Is that Diane Carroll? Diane Cannon?
No, it's neither of the Dianes. No.
Is that Dirty Diana?
No, Michael Jackson.
Around, I wouldn't say that.
She's much prettier.
Who are you? Lakers win.
Yes, 108-107, I would say, and I will get everyone's opinion here because the only opinion that matters is the lovely lady sitting next to me. Sorry, Corey, not you, although you are a lovely lady. The lady boss herself is sitting next to me and sitting next to Jay. So in between us, 108-107 Lakers. Is this the biggest win of the year? It feels like that to me against the Celtics, the hated Celtics. Jeanie Buss, thank you for joining us first. And is this the biggest win of the year?
Well, I thought, when beating the Knicks on Sunday was good. And then now to beat the Celtics. Yeah, I guess always beating the Celtics is the most sweet victory. And certainly on the night that we honored my father, Dr. Jeanie Buss, because this game was the closest game to his birthday. I feel like that was a really nice... it was just nice to have it on Jeanie Buss night.
Yes, yeah, you're opening your jacket here to show a pin. We all got pins.
Lakers beat the Celtics, Aaron?
They did, dumb guy, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which is always a cause for celebration, but especially tonight.
Is that this morning? Oh, tonight.
Yeah, tonight, dumb guy. Especially as we honor Dr. Buss.
Genius.
Yeah, and
Jeanie, you said something interesting.
Yes.
If I'll interject.
Yeah, go for it, JJ.
The official podcast of the Lakers, and we sing your praises. Tim Harris, Linda Rambis, everybody, Rob Pelinka, Magic, everybody.
Stacey gets mad at us if we don't say
Stacey
Stacey.
Yes.
She doesn't work for the
But she has a drink named after her, so
she
we
is my
have to.
wingman.
Got to laugh.
Right. So yeah, we got to shout out Stacey too.
It seems like I have said this is the best Lakers win of the year 6 times this year. The Washington Wizards overtime win, I'm like, oh, it's on. Like, it's on. And there's even losses. Like, nobody wants to lose. It can't be the best anything. But the loss to Philly.
Rockets win, too. Yeah.
That was amazing. And when Brandon Ingram took over the Philly game, it was like 4 minutes left, and he just went, I'll get Simmons. And Simmons was just done, having right in front of us. That's rare for a team to have, like, the best win of the season over and over and over. And, man, I've been saying it, Laker fans, at Lakers, at Jeanie Buss, at Aaron Larsoul, at Fry, Hush, Hush, you are, Fry 42, at J Mohr 37. You don't want to sell Laker stock. This is Coca-Cola stock in 1960. It's going up. And I'm telling you, I want to know how you feel, Jeanie, in regard to Aaron's question, but I had to interject and just say there's been a lot of best wins of the year. That's great.
Yeah, it makes everything at the office go a lot smoother when we were winning. So
Yes.
No, but certainly I think it's something to build on, and we're not at full strength. We're still missing one of our key players in Lonzo Ball. And so it was a nice win because the Celtics got Kyrie Irving back.
Right.
So I was really proud of how hard they worked.
Well, that leads me into, there's so many things we want to ask you. I want to ask you about your routine at the office that you just mentioned, but since we're talking Lonzo, let's talk about the rookies. What have you seen so far from the rookies Lonzo and Kuz and Josh Hart, and even Thomas Bryant, who showed my weird analytical brain. I really liked his footwork on his three he made at the end of the Knicks game the other day.
Twicky from Buck Rogers. Is Aaron Larsoul ever wrong? No. See, Twicky knows.
Well, Twicky's very kind to me always. But what have you seen from the rookies that you've been impressed with? And because JJ and I and Corey, we see you at the game all the time, and you are very involved and like emotionally invested in this team. Mm-hmm. So what have you seen from the rookies that you've liked the most?
Their effort. I think that it's hard for young players. They kind of hit a wall at this time in the season, especially for the rookies. Ingram's in his second year. But Kuzma, Hart, I think that they're not used to playing this many games in this amount of time, and it's just it's a learning curve, and it's something they have to learn how to be professionals. And when you think about the fact that every arena they go into, it's the first time they've ever played there, and that will never happen again. Every time they go back to that arena, they learn where the locker rooms are, where the weight room is, how to walk out to the court.
That's a great point.
It's like it's
they've
all
experience
money
to draw
in the bank,
on.
right? And so this is all all things that they have to go to become seasoned and become the veteran players that they're meant to be. But they work hard. I think Luke has them playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and it's tough. Like, it's a tough business that we're in. We've got several players that are not under contract for next year, and playing time becomes really an issue when you're trying to figure out if you're going to be back with the team, and if you're showcasing your skills to another team. So it's difficult up until the trade deadline, which is February 8th, and I think things will settle down again. But they've shown remarkable resilience with changing lineups. I think Julius Randle has really done everything that has been asked of him and done it well, and he works hard, and he's strong, and he presents a mismatch for so many teams when he's in at the 5. He's a beast. He's strong, and he can force his way in towards the basket.
You heard my Julius Randle nicknames?
No.
Night Train?
Night Train.
Orange Julius?
Orange Julius.
I like the first one better.
What, Night Train?
Yeah.
That was the original.
Orange Julius, yeah.
Rottweiler. Everybody calls him Bull in a China Shop.
Yep.
So you could pick a favorite.
He's more graceful than a bull in a China shop.
I never like. That's not mine. That's the fake media's.
Fake news.
You said something really interesting, that Luke has them playing with enthusiasm. The offensive rebounds against the Celtics were incredible, and it was second effort. It was an Ingram miss and a Julius Randle putback where I'm like, that's a lot of green down low, just kind of looking up at Night Train, just clack. It was maybe 2 weeks ago where the international media was, they don't play hard, man. Luke's lost them. So for you to just say a fact like Luke has them playing with great enthusiasm, that's Laker fans listening to America's Lakers podcast, the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers. Comb through your internet today and see how many stories about how hard they play for Luke, because you won't find them. And that's got to be really frustrating, Jeanie, when every story is something negative. I really firmly believe, and we saw this with J Mohr Sports, Aaron, positivity sells. People are starving for a good story that's real, based in facts, and positive. Like, they're 20. They're not only 20, they're 20. Like, I don't like, is he 20 or only 20? He's 20. But these guys, what Jeanie just said about learning a new arena, where's the shower? What time do I get picked up? I haven't stayed in a hotel.
You could be at Quicken, and they have cold water in the visitor showers. Apparently,
it's Cleveland. They don't know. My words. But
no, that's
like,
the truth.
How about 3 time zones in college? You don't go 3 time zones unless it's the NCAA tournament.
And as Jeanie was just saying, all of the rookies, the Lakers are 40, 45 games in. in college, you play 30. So all of these guys, and we've seen it a little bit with Kuzma.
How about Kuzma broke through the rookie wall?
Exactly.
Like Kool-Aid coming through a wall.
Oh, yeah!
Kuzma for three!
17 in the fourth quarter tonight, which was the high quarter for the Lakers this season. And I sort of interrupted JJ, but let's put a
I interrupted too, so don't worry.
Let's put a fine point on this. There's speculation all over the place, and we're going to end it here. This is the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers, and we're going to end it here. Is there any chance Luke Walton is not the coach at the end of the year and into the foreseeable future? Luke Walton is the coach, yes or no?
Luke Walton is the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, period. He is not going anywhere. We are fortunate to have him leading our team, and I think he's done a remarkable job. And I'm, the front office joins me in that feeling, and he's I think he's done a remarkable job. I'm really proud of him, and he is the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
You know what's interesting about Luke is the things that I was, critical. We call a spade a spade. The rotations made me crazy. And now with Lonzo out, as long as he's been out, and then KCP goes out, Ingram's like that. Those kooky rotations that gave me fits and headaches that we spoke about extensively, and we gave Luke the benefit of the doubt. Now you see the dividends when guys are just used to being out on the floor, and you're like, oh my gosh, he might be a very good coach.
I don't think there's any oh my gosh about it. I think.
You're like, what's with you look at. I don't base my opinion on the Lakers with social media because that would make me insane. But it's like these rotations. What is he doing? And then all of a sudden, guys are hitting daggers that you would not normally see on the floor, and people go, oh, you know what? I'd like to see Julius on the floor a little more in the fourth. But hey. It's all good. Well,
and we can put, I'm the analytics nerd. We can put an analytic behind it. The Lakers are 7-7, and a lot of it without Lonzo. The Lakers are 7-7 with Julius as a starter. One point of view could be, he should have started Julius earlier. My counter to that would be, well, maybe he started Julius at the exact right time because the Lakers are 500 with Julius in the starting lineup.
And they're not playing like 7-7 with Randall as a starter. Make no mistake. And I look through purple and gold glasses, no doubt, but they are playing like they're on fire. They are on fire. And I said to Aaron 2 episodes ago, Jeanie Buss, I said, when they play like this, I wouldn't trade anybody. Like, this is crazy. It's so much fun to watch them when they're going like this. Caruso, we didn't even talk about Caruso's dunk on, was that Oladipo?
Caruso's gotten a few people, including PJ Tucker was the one against the Rockets.
Oladipo, I like to think, is a much more expensive scalp back
home. Well, he is, but Oladipo's not blocking any shots. PJ Tucker,
he was in the shot blocking area,
he was in the region.
I just never saw an Aggie with that particular complexion going chock full of nuts.
Have you ever seen an Aggie with that particular complexion other than Johnny Manziel?
No.
We'll skip ahead. So, Jeanie, JJ was talking about, he just mentioned, and you mentioned the trade deadline coming up here, and February 8th, which is 15, 16 days from now as we record this. And I'm not going to ask you to talk about any specific trades. I don't want you to violate anything, but I think the Laker fans out there would kind of just want to know how the logistics of it work, how involved you are. Is it Magic and Rob are out scouring? Maybe there'll be opportunities, maybe not, but they're out scouring and then they bring stuff to you and you have an opinion, or do you kind of just stay out of it and let them do their thing? What's your role in that kind of decision making?
Yeah, they're in charge of the day-to-day operations, so I'm not involved in those kind of conversations. What I can say is that they have a very clear vision of the type of team that they want to build, and I think that what's important, and when you talk about building a roster, and it translates into the upcoming free agency period coming up, that what you want to see is a roster that complements each piece, fits the other players on the team, that you don't have.
The sum is greater than the parts.
Right, that you don't have 8 small forwards, that you have the kind of players who that are capable of playing the style of play that the coach wants to play. And so I think that you're seeing that vision kind of fulfilling itself on the court. And I think it all starts with our scouting department. And our scouting department has done a fantastic job in hearing what the front office is looking for and finding those players. And I think, this year's draft, if you did it again, I don't think Kuzma would be a late first round pick. I think he
would be a top 5 guy.
Right. And
right.
So,
And yes, everybody and Josh Hart also going 30th, but that goes back even, credit to the scouting department, as you're saying, that goes back a few years. The Lakers have been among the best 1 or 2 or 3 drafting teams over the last 4 or 5 years, and that's just not debatable.
Basketball Breakdown. And,
they did. Yes,
they did a whole thing where the Lakers were number 1 drafting team of the last maybe a decade.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 or 5 years, but yes.
And I'm watching that video. I'm going, holy smokes! This is really good stuff with the late picks, especially. And I wanted to ask about the thing about the draft. The Lakers don't have a first round draft pick this year, but 4 lottery picks in a row. My personal, of course it could be, but it's not like the 5th guy's the charm. Like you've been to the Piñata 4 times, and nobody's missed. These are all NBA starting players, and the guys that are late, Kuzma is lighting the world on fire. How important I know price-wise, the lottery pick is so valuable because you save so much cap space, even like the creepy Celtics going from 1 to 3 to slide Gordon Hayward in.
Celtics creepy.
Oh, they're creepy. They're gross. They're just runny, flu dump awful. My word.
I just have this vision of the Celtics as some just as an organization as dressed in some terrible Halloween costume.
No, they wear short shorts. They got rashes. It's like it's like if you didn't watch the wrestling match. It's like that whole team has ringworm. You guys better disinfect Staples tonight. I'm telling you, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a medical science.
Yes, I did see a few of the guys. I was, thanks to Jeanie, was up close enough I could see some of the guys. I thought maybe there was a scabies outbreak on some of the guys. I don't want to spread any. We don't spread rumors here, but
usually there's bubble gum in that little basket on the scorer's table, just filled with citrus tonight.
Yes,
because they wouldn't get scurvy or scabies.
Yes,
how
combat all of those old timey British conquest diseases. Yes.
You had me at old timey. The pick is so valuable. How much value? Because you forgot more basketball than I'll know, and that is the pick that you don't have. How much is the discussion as the trade deadline approaches about getting a first round pick versus we need an expiring contract, or how would you rank the import?
I think they're not out shopping looking to make a deal for the sake of making a deal. But, what they want to do is always look to improve a team. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to be committed to do. So, it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't any deals made before the deadline. I think that, again, I think everything that you're seeing will translate as we head into a free agency period, that players who are free agents can look at this roster and see where they would fit in and see how they could fit into what we're building here. And
Did you say it wouldn't surprise you if there were no deals done before the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's as you get closer to the deadline, and it's interesting this year, we have moved the deadline to before the All-Star game. It used to be after the All-Star game.
Get those weird DeMarcus Cousins finding out he's traded during a press conference last year.
Yeah,
actually, you're staying here because you just got traded.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my luggage. That's cool.
and that is true. It's like that is something that the All-Star break is an opportunity for players to get away, to take a few days off, to kind of recharge as they go into the upcoming playoffs. And the trade deadline hanging over them makes it impossible to really actually relax. And I kind of admire the NHL because they actually put a moratorium on trades on December 24th and 25th. So no guy goes home thinking I'm going to get that phone call that I'm traded during Christmas. And so I think it's like kind of like a humanistic approach. I think it's, it's interesting to see, as you get closer, the rumors really start to
oh my gosh,
heat up, and it's a distraction for players, and but they're professionals. They've got to like deal with it. But I don't think our front office is like looking to make a deal just so they can make a deal.
Well, it's also, as you just mentioned, with the former trade deadline coming after the All-Star break, it's strange. Even if you don't get dealt at the break, you come back to your team and you run through a practice or two, and then all of a sudden you're not playing. You come back for 2 or 3 days, and you're like, you're out of here. But the All-Star game is in Los Angeles this year, hosted officially by the league. But what is that like when the entire NBA, when all the decision makers from all the teams and agents and players and, frankly, groupies and everybody just descends on Los Angeles for the All-Star game? How does the city absorb that, and how do the teams, the Lakers and the Clippers, absorb that?
It's it's awful for the host teams because we don't get access to tickets. The tickets are under control by the NBA, and so our season seat holders. Corey
said she's got you if you need anything. No, if you need some seats, Corey's got you taken care of.
There goes my follow-up question.
It's like
You got the hookup, right, Jeanie?
Corey's got everybody. We're good.
Corey's got it.
So it's like we don't get an allotment of tickets. Our season seat holders are like, why can't I have my seats? They're my seats. I should just buy them for the All-Star game. It's an honor for a city to host an event that will have international media and a lot of attention. And I think the new format is going to be very intriguing as players will be drafting their teams from their pool of players. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Let's listen to this.
Hold on, by the way, can I just say before we listen to this, this is not Jeanie saying this is me saying this. NBA. Televised Steph and LeBron picking the players. These are grown men, and they're all all-stars.
Let's talk about that when we come back, because that's a good tease.
It's me saying it, not Jeanie. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but this is me.
You don't sound anything alike. Don't worry.
NBA. Televise the
LeBron
draft.
and Steph.
Yes, they're going to pick.
Correct. Are the captains. We'll talk about this right after this, because I think this is important. We have Vas Onovas coming up. I'll play with Aaron regarding Lakers players and Eastern Conference All-Stars. Trying to get a Price is Right game together, but I'm not particularly present.
I want the yodeler guy, but that doesn't translate well on a podcast.
That's the one I was trying to get together. The guy
going up the mountain?
That's the one I was trying to get together.
Yeah.
And this is a fascinating thing. One of the coolest things since a guy and a gal were partnered on 2-on-2 basketball, which to this day is my all-time favorite All-Star game activity. It's like Clyde Drexler and Cheryl Swoops.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I think they call it like 3-ball now. Now it's 3 people, and they end up shooting half-court shots, and it basically...
But there weren't WNBA...
Yeah, it's one... Yes, it's one current player, one WNBA player from that city, and one legend from that city, and they go through a bunch of drills and shoot, and everybody makes the easy stuff quickly, and it just turns into a half-court shooting contest.
Yeah, I like that 2-on-2. But the Steph and LeBron are...
Sunday afternoon, there was a gentleman won the $100,000 making a half-court shot.
Smiling ear to ear. I don't think people
Which was very strange, because he's a rocket scientist and a bounty hunter, the guy that won, which was kind of which was a strange dichotomy of employment options.
I was thinking about string theory, and I realized, there he is. Think about it later. McBain, get back in the car.
I was thinking of string theory, and then I noticed there was that tax evader I had to go get in Rancho Cucamonga.
We're going to talk about Steph, maybe the NBA's egregious non-televised error. It's just unconscionable. Unconscionable? A word that means...
Unconscionable?
None of the above. Okay. It's a word that I don't know yet. We're going to talk some more Jeanie Vas Onovas, and I'll run through some of the more absurd trade rumors, which, by the way, they're not trade rumors. Somebody actually makes them up. Aaron said, I don't think Nerlens Noel is the building block for anything. That's one of your funniest quotes. Like, he's a good building block moving forward. Aaron goes, no, he's not for anything. Not even like a Jenga game.
Point of reference for everything that has been said so far and going forward. This is me saying this and not Jeanie saying this.
We know.
We don't sound alike. You reminded me. Yeah, okay, good.
What, Jeanie? That was a good Aaron impression. Listen to these words from a great sponsor, friends. You see me, Jay Mohr, in my truck. I got that truck using the TrueCar downloadable app. TrueCar users save on average over $3,000 off MSRP. That is exactly around the number that I saved. My phone vibrated. My truck was ready. Lock-in guaranteed savings using TrueCar certified dealers. And let me tell you something. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, go to TrueCar.com, download the TrueCar app like I have on my phone, and enjoy a better car buying experience with TrueCar certified dealers. Let me tell you something. They're going to show you what other people in your area paid for that car that you're looking for. And then you're getting a fair price. So you can feel confident, feel good. TrueCar is going to make sure you never, ever overpay. I put my name on it, friends. Use the TrueCar website, TrueCar.com, or the app, TrueCar app, and you can easily find the new or used car that you want. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar.com or download the TrueCar app and enjoy a better car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. America's Lakers podcast. We're back in the house with the Lady Boss. There's that lady. I don't want to pay for the song, so
Yeah, but I actually want you to keep singing. So if you can just come up with... I don't know how long we get before we have to pay for it.
I think we'll be okay.
However many seconds we get of various songs, just sing them up until that point.
She don't mess around. It's bands you don't know.
Well, I'm not our only audience.
I would sing Boss, Deeper and Deeper. She was cool. Remember Boss, the rapper Boss?
Nope. I sure don't.
You're from Oakland?
Yeah.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah.
Jay Mohr, Aaron Larsoul, and Corey Fry, and of course, so happy to have Jeanie Buss on America's Lakers podcast. Lakers, wow, 7 of their last 9, 6 in a row at home, 7-7 with Julius Randle as a starter. So all that nonsense chatter about Lakers trying to keep Julius Randle from hitting that kicker.
The starter qualification for his qualifying offer.
It's just
starter criteria.
Out the window.
Well, yes, he started enough games, so we're past that.
Kuzma has broken through the rookie wall like Kool-Aid coming through.
Oh, yeah.
Or like Randy Macho Man.
Like Andy Reid in the Chiefs poncho, that red Chiefs poncho.
Yeah, he doesn't like Kool-Aid. Macho Man Savage, but a Slim Jim commercial. Hey, man, Kuzma.
Snap it to... Well, they're not sponsored, so.
Knicks pursue Lakers guard Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Jeanie Buss, true, false, or pass?
I have no idea. That's fake news, probably.
No boss.
It seems like the Lakers, more than any franchise in the history of sports, what's the over-under on fake news? 88%? It's almost
a very precise number. I like that.
I'm a precise guy.
88.5%.
That don't work for me, man.
Okay,
88.8.
All right, fine.
How much of it would you, if I said the over on the sports book at betdsi.com or whatever was 88% of Laker stories, not pertaining to the actual score of what happened, is fake news?
Can we call it something else?
Fake news?
Can we call it something other than fake news?
Make-believe, narrative, clickbait.
I like that. There we go.
Clickbait falsities.
Love that. Clickbait falsities.
Would you take the over or the under? Is it less than 88% or over? What's it seem like?
Oh, I mean, that's just... I think it just goes along with the territory being in a large market.
Over or under, Jeanie?
It's got to be over.
Over, wow.
More than 88.8% of all Lakers stuff is clickbait falsities.
It's absurd, Aaron. If I type in Lakers trade rumors...
well, we've got the one... somebody who shall remain nameless that works for a 4-letter network that shall remain nameless decided to put out that the Cleveland Cavaliers have engaged the Los Angeles Lakers in trade talks today. Yep. And
now that's the second time Brian Windhorst has said something completely false. I'll say his name.
Okay.
It's entirely false. And I took him to task of on this podcast, that was entirely made up what that guy was saying. I forget what it was.
So the lovely Lady Boss may not comment on this, but as far as you and I know, Jay, the Cleveland Cavaliers have not engaged with the Los Angeles Lakers in trade talks.
That's my understanding of it. We'll ask her when she gets back.
Mine as well. We would go ahead, JJ.
True or false? Clarkson and Randall heating up before trade deadline. That's true.
Well, heating up, yeah, they're playing well.
That's true.
If that's what you mean.
That gets
that has
snuck in
nothing
there.
to do with the trade deadline, but they're playing well.
I tried to trick you guys. I tried to trick you guys. Cavs closing in on deal for Kings. George Hill. I think that might be true.
There's a lot of.
It's a desperate.
There's a lot of smoke there. I don't think it helps the Cavs, but there is a lot of smoke.
Desperation is a very distinct scent, and that is a desperation move when you're lobbying to get George Hill. You know how much he makes?
$18 million this year.
Why?
I think $19 million next year, and then $19 million the following year. But he has only $1 million guaranteed for that year.
Aaron, it's Christopher Walken. Hello,
Chris.
Jeanie Buss, your lovely lady boss. Yeah. Whoa, lady boss sits in the front
Easy,
row.
Chris. Easy.
I'm a respectful man.
Good.
I'm married to Georgianne, but George Hill.
Yes.
How much does he make this year
18,
alone?
$18 million.
I got one question
Chris.
for you and his agent.
Okay.
Why?
Because he could get it.
I only wanted to do something other than Norm
because
Macdonald.
he could get it.
Yeah, George Hill got paid. All right, so Lakers trade rumors. I realize going to put Jeanie Buss in a compromising
Yeah,
position.
so I'm going to start. I'm going to ask her. I'm going to ask her some
quickly.
other things, if I may, from Christopher Walken. If I may have the floor, so I may.
Yeah, and I'd love to, of course, celebrate Dr. Jerry Buss.
Well, my
Genius,
my question is
He enjoyed
in
Coca-Colas.
regards to Dr. Buss. It's a two-part question. The first part is your dad kind of pioneered basketball as entertainment, both as fans going to the game, but also the product that was on the floor. So the first part of the question is, as we celebrate his birthday coming up, the first part of the question is, how does your dad's vision influence day-to-day operations for the Lakers now? And then the follow-up question is, Robert Pineda, we told everyone in the Twitter universe that you were going to be on with us and solicited questions from them. And Robert Pineda wanted to know, when, if ever, are we going to get a statue of your father along with all the other great Lakers and Kings, etc., outside of Staples Center?
By the way, Robert Pineda came to one of my shows dressed as Randy Macho Man Savage, head to toe.
Did he have a Slim Jim he could snap into?
No.
Was Miss Elizabeth with him?
No.
All right.
I don't know. I leave right after my show.
I
don't mingle unless they get the Blue Heyman t-shirts.
I'm not sure about Robert's commitment.
Oh, no. Statue for
your dad.
Dr. Jerry Buss.
And how does his vision influence what happens now?
Well, in regards to a statue, I mean, for many years, people approached us about, naming a high school after him or naming, a wing at a hospital after him or, just all these different opportunities. And every time I took one to him, he said, Jeanie, this is what I want. This is what would make me happy. He said, I would like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I would like to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I want to be in the Guinness Book of World Records as the winningest owner of all time. So each one of those we did. And the star on the Walk of Fame was the most difficult because when you're honored with a star, it has to be based on a medium. So it's either recording artist, film, television.
Wow. You had to go in as an entertainer.
And well, he went, like I convinced Mayor Johnny Grant that because he started the very first sports regional network, that he should be honored as a television pioneer. And so it took 3 years, but we finally did it. And in 2006, he got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame right in front of where the Kodak Theater is, right at Hollywood and Highland.
That's a good spot.
And we did, they said, the best ceremony of any, because usually it's just, like a photo op, a red carpet, but we had Laker girls, we had the USC band, we had Paul Abdul, we had, it was just wall-to-wall fans. So it was a really great day. Then he was, inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. He gave a very moving speech. It really meant a lot to him. That was something that he really desired. And then it was a lot of work to get him into the Guinness Book of World Records, but he is now in the Guinness Book of World Records as the winningest owner of all time. So those were the things.
When did he go into the Guinness Book?
It was in 2012, 2013.
So you pulled off the hat trick while your father was alive.
Yeah. And, well, the other thing is he wanted to have more championships than the Celtics, and we weren't able to do that. Because
it's an ellipses. Dot.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna. That's
right.
what we keep. That's what we keep doing.
It may not be more championships yet, but there was a win tonight.
Yes, that's
true. On his day.
It's odd. I don't like when I say chip. We got to get a chip. Well, go to an AA meeting. I'll hand you one.
So
welcome.
But
you're only one back.
To answer the question about the statue in front of Staples Center. We probably will never do that because that wasn't something that he wanted. But, he's laid to rest at the, I'm like drawing a blank. But we have a statue there at Forest Lawn, right? Thank you. And, and anybody can go and visit. And a lot of Laker fans have gone to visit and have sent me pictures. So there's a beautiful statue of him there.
Your father's more brilliant each day. The draft lottery, the way his mantra of you just don't mess with a man's money. You just don't. Mm-hmm. Getting Kobe up to the house and just showing him the lights of Los Angeles and saying, "This is yours." Like, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. Who would play Dr. Jerry Buss in a movie? And he can't say Rip Torn, I guess.
No, I mean, like to me, my dad and Sean Connery could be brothers. The way they look, But
you want somebody spry.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess How
dare you? That's James Bond.
Yeah, he was James Bond.
Only one James Bond, my friend. And that's the guy whose name I can't think of because he only did one movie.
George Lazenby.
That's right. That's the real James Bond.
I'm kind of a weird Bond.
So Sean Connery's your first choice. Mm-hmm. A second choice.
Jimmy Caan.
Yes! Jimmy Caan's got an Oscar in him. Every 10 years, he does something where you go, nominate him.
Yep.
It's the strangest thing. Jimmy Caan is perfect to play Dr. Buss. Oh, my God.
And they were friends. They were friends, too.
When I was on Las Vegas, Jimmy Caan walks with that goofy, limp, not goofy, just odd limp. You don't expect him to walk the way
Probably
Jimmy
has back problems. How dare you?
And I said, Jimmy, can I ask you a question? You seem like you're in pain in your hips. And he goes, it's incredible pain. I go, why are you in so much pain? He goes, maybe you don't know this, okay? I was a professional bull rider for 15 years. I go, were you on top? He goes, get that out of here. He had a tantrum.
That's terrible.
But then as he was saying, get them out of here, he started laughing. He goes, get them out of here. Let's play Boss or No Boss after this break.
Hey, it's Rob Riggle.
And Sarah Tiana.
And you are listening to Riggle's Pit.
Yeah, and a ham horn, and we have a new podcast. You can find our show exclusively on the Podcast One app, on podcastonesports.com, and don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Every Thursday, we're going to sit around and we're going to talk about the things that really excite us, like life, comedy, sports, a lot of sports.
Ourselves.
A lot of Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you join us.
America's Lakers podcast, Lakers 108, Celtics 107, nail biter, missed shot by the Celtics. It's nice to see a team not have some kind iron.
Yes.
It happens. And we talked very early in America's Lakers podcast that the shots are going to drop eventually. And eventually teams are going to come in and not shoot 90% or some kooky number.
Yes. And Mr. Smart, for some reason, became the final option for the Celtics. Which
when he brought that ball up, I went, this is great. And if it goes in, there's no reason for me to drive in a straight line the rest of my drive home. I should just go into a guardrail and just let them. My last words, Smart?
Marcus Smart.
What? Did you see who else was on the floor?
Kyrie, guys. He can close sometimes. He's all right.
Marcus Smart just got traded for Brandon Ingram. True?
No.
Oh, okay.
No
Vas.
No
She knows the game.
Let's play No Vas.
Hey.
No Vas. With Aaron will play this.
I sure
because
will.
Jeanie, with player decisions, I understand, you're the owner. You can't be going like, that guy stinks. I want that guy instead. Well,
this is going to be a lot of Jeanie blinks 12 times if.
No, I'll just ask Aaron. But
Okay.
Jeanie needs to know. We played a game where I had Aaron. I had the. Would you rather have this group of forwards or this group of forwards from one team? Would you ever rather have these guards or these guards? Would you rather have this center and big or this?
Right.
And Aaron took 3 out of 5 Lakers, and I'm like, that's your number 1 seed Celtics from last year. And I did omit Isaiah Thomas, but you took the Celtics guards anyway. And also, Utah Jazz was a clean sweep.
Yes, who were the 5 seed last year. There was 4 or 5 of them in the Clippers last year.
And I've been saying all along, like, this team could make the playoffs. It's just, there's cohesion and stuff that you work on, and I'm thrilled to be a Lakers fan right now. Like, I'm so excited.
I'm going to be honest. I had more fun tonight than I can remember having at an NBA basketball. And I've been to a lot of Laker games this year, and work for the Trailblazers. So I've seen a lot of NBA games, and tonight was so much fun. And the building was.
You said
it felt like
bananas.
the rivalry renewed. It really felt like that.
Think about that. This team has how many wins? 18? 17?
18.
18 wins.
Yeah.
Celtics have, they're favored to go all the way in the East.
The Celtics are the number 1 seed.
And the building is vibrating.
Yep.
Like, that's a powerful rivalry. Like, when the Yankees and Red Sox play and somebody's in last place, you just pile on. This was like, it's on. It's great. Lakers, Sixers, I'm way more excited about.
But what's funny is there's lots of throughout sports, there's lots of rivalries. And sometimes the rivalries stop feeling like rivalries because it tilts in one direction. Outside of the other day, the Warriors had beaten the Clippers 100 times in a row. So that didn't really feel like a rivalry.
It's not.
But the Lakers and Celtics, even though the Celtics have gotten the better of it recently, tonight really felt like the pendulum swinging back, and it felt like 2 heavyweights going at it in a real rivalry.
It was great. And to pay off the tease from earlier, the All-Star game, Steph Curry, LeBron James are captains, and they get to choose teams like when you were a kid on the playground.
LeBron gets the first pick.
Either Western,
either conference. So there are 10 starters. LeBron and Steph are the leading vote getter in the East and West, respectively. LeBron got more votes than Steph. So LeBron gets the first pick. Steph gets the second pick. They have to pick the other 8 starters first. And then once we get to the reserves, Steph gets the first pick.
Who would you guess, Jeanie Buss? You can pass if you're not comfortable. LeBron's first pick would be out of the 8 starters.
I can't.
Aaron Larsoul.
Yeah, I can't.
I would say, and by the way, I'm going to say again, televise the draft, NBA.
Well, that's the big thing is they're not televising this.
No, we're just gonna see. Apparently, there's going to be. I believe it is Thursday. The reserves were announced today, Tuesday, as we record this tonight.
Today's Thursday, Aaron?
No, today's Tuesday, dumb guy.
Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But as I understand it, Thursday there is going to be a conference call between LeBron, Steph, and the league, and they're going to pick their teams.
Chris Paul will be on it, too. Don't kid yourself.
Chris Paul not selected as an all-star reserve.
Doesn't matter. He's the most powerful. He's like Lex Luthor of the NBA.
Not selected. Well, they do have the same haircut. A different complexion, but the same haircut. So apparently,
what did you say?
I said different complexion, but same haircut.
I love that.
Chris Paul and Lex Luthor. So there's going to be a conference call between LeBron, Steph, and the NBA where they will just come to some agreement to the teams that are selected, and then they will be announced Thursday. And I think the NBA this is just me saying this, but I think the NBA is missing an opportunity to televise this.
Who wouldn't watch that? The N1 Mix Tour was on ESPN2. We never missed it. Like, escalade!
Now, to answer your question, I think LeBron, I think he selects Kevin Durant first. I think, one, because Kevin Durant's the best or second best player in the NBA, and also to kind of mess with Steph's head.
Do you really think he wants to mess with Steph's head?
Yes, I do.
Is there gamesmanship or just I want to win? Hold on.
Every chance that
is
LeBron...
There games?
Go ahead.
Well, I know Michael Jordan, certainly. But is it gamesmanship or I just want to win the gamesmanship? Durant's the first pick, I think, period.
I think it's more of the former because I think LeBron is always playing the long game. And I think LeBron cares more about messing with Steph in a potential finals matchup than winning this All-Star game. I think he'd like to win this All-Star game, but I think the long game is always more important to LeBron.
And they're not televising it.
Not so far.
When the Olympics are on, I have to watch guys run in a straight line in different lengths and 30 different colors of T-shirt. But this with guys, I mean, that's drama. Somebody's going to get picked last.
Yeah, and the NHL does this, and
Draymond.
they give Al Horford will be the last pick.
Al Horford, what? Yeah, I knew he was an All-Star.
They will give
more money from Boston.
The
than
NHL
Whitey
has
Bulger.
done this, and they give a car to whoever is picked last. And Alex Ovechkin, who is possibly the best player in the NHL, had a little sign. He was campaigning to be the last pick because he wanted the car. So I say, guys, get over it. You're the 24 best players in the world.
Fairness, he's
Alex Ovechkin is. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Well, I haven't said it yet. This podcast, he is struggling.
Is he?
Nope. He sure isn't.
That was NBA Voss or no Voss.
Let's do it.
They're not going to televise picking sides. Do we make a difference? Do the fans get to go? I mean, you got to find. What is it on TNT, the All-Star game? ABC?
I think it is on T.
TSA?
The Saturday stuff is always on
CIA?
TNT. I think the game is also, but I'm not sure about that. The game might
There's
be
a
on
lot of
ABC.
sister
The game might be on
stations.
ABC. But
I'm gonna look it
all
up.
the Saturday stuff is always on. The dunk contest, the 3-point shootout.
Jeanie!
All the
She
other
comes
stuff.
back our last. There's a lot of sister stations like TBS, TNT, and then you go put on Telemundo, Sábado Gigante.
Yes.
We'll all watch it. We'll find it. Let's play Voss or no Voss.
Okay.
It's time.
This is Jeanie blink 3 times or 12 times.
No, just you.
Okay.
Voss or no Voss. It's
Yep.
deal or no deal, but the Spanish version, which where they got it from. Howie
They
Mandel
did.
was the host of that one, too.
He speaks many languages like Kobe.
Voss, I'll do it as Andy Garcia, who was at the basketball game tonight.
we
My
saw
name
Andy
is
tonight, yeah.
Andy Garcia, Aaron, and people don't know that I'm Cuban in a movie until I get angry. Then I start talking like this. We cannot have alcohol in this house.
Okay.
I love Andy very much. All right, you're going to play Voss or no Voss. I'm going to hand you a Eastern Conference All-Star.
Okay.
Victor Oladipo, okay? There you go. No, that's yours now. You
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Here's Lonzo Ball. Voss? No Voss. Not for the All-Star game. Just who do you want?
No Voss.
No Voss.
No, give me Lonzo.
Here's
no, absolutely not. Although it's interesting.
Wait, hold on. I think you got it backwards.
No Voss. You gave me.
At least at all, no Voss.
No, I want Lonzo. I don't know what.
too.
Voss, no Voss. Give me all the Voss. I want Lonzo.
By the way, Jeanie, it's certainly been noticed here on America's Lakers podcast. The all he's a bum, he's a bust, get him out of town. You should have taken Malik Monk. You should have taken my sister's ass.
Malik
it's
Monk's
just-
not playing in Charlotte.
Therein lies the humor.
Okay.
10 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. I can't wait for this. I mean, and
Charlotte's not in the playoffs in the East.
303 from 3-point. It did go way up.
Yes.
Proud of you, kiddo. Lonzo, proud of you.
And by the way, I like Oladipo a lot, and I think it's very interesting that he's an all-star and Paul George is not. And we thought that was a very one-sided trade in the offseason, and it doesn't appear to be so one-sided. But absolutely not.
Aaron Larsoul,
Yes.
Here's Al Horford.
Nice to meet you, Al.
7-footer. I don't know if that's a real 7 feet.
No, he's not that
That
tall.
might be a Julius Randle 6'10".
Okay. Nice to meet you, Al.
Hello. All right. Thank you, Al. That's enough. Hey, here's Julius Randle. You can give me back Al Horford for Julius Randle. Voss? Oh, no Voss.
No.
Can I tell you something?
No.
This is the biggest Julius Randle fan.
No. I mean, Al's just Horford's
Voss or no Voss?
No, Al's a slightly better player now, but he's old. No.
No Voss
No.
means you're not going to take Julius Randle.
No,
for Al
Voss
Horford.
then. Yeah, I'm trading.
Yeah,
I'm trading Horford back. Yeah, I'm trading Horford in for. Yeah, no.
Here's Kevin Love. You know Kevin Love. He's an Abercrombie and Fitch
I
model.
do.
and he lives in
Another
Cleveland.
All-Star. Yeah.
He models
Yes.
uniforms.
I don't
at
know
Quicken
if
Loans.
his Cavs teammates know him, but I know him.
He's a floor stretcher.
Yes, he is.
If I want a floor stretcher, I'll call a carpet guy.
Shooting
okay?
39% from 3. Yeah.
Well, that's great. You know what? Somebody's got the rebounds. You said somebody's got to get the boards.
They do.
Well, here's Kevin. He's over here. Stop looking at her like that, pal. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, look who just came to the door. It's Kyle Kuzma. Number 0. Vas or no Vas?
Hell yes, Voss. I want Kuzma. What do you? I don't.
What
I'm
is
not giving you no.
Look at this, like straight up, like we're going. You know, you can keep Victor Oladipo because I want Lonzo.
And by the way,
Ball.
none of this. If you guys have listened to our podcast, none of this is because Jeanie is sitting here.
No,
I always tell you I always tell you the truth.
You took the entire Lakers roster over the entire 5
There's
seed.
been plenty of times where
roster.
right, yeah.
Kuzma. The only other one I had, I'm not so sure about, so I'm not going to put it out there. Let's just finish.
No, look, give me one more so I can not look like a complete shill.
Honestly,
give me one.
You're not a shill.
No, I'm not.
Your word's impeccable. It's
I'm
true.
not,
I don't know who the starters are. Well, I don't really know who they are right now because I've been working on major motion pictures, Aaron.
All right.
Listen, Jeanie Marie Buss. Which rookie has impressed you the most? And you're not saying anything negative about whoever you don't say, with the way they handle themselves, their maturity level, the way they were able to handle all those things you mentioned earlier, handle the press, go to practice on time. You know, I'm coaching wrestling, as you know, and some guys I kind of hurt my neck, can't practice today. And other guys, I can't get them to slow down and stop, or I'm afraid they're going to blow a gasket. They don't have to talk to the media. They're in high school. Which rookie has really just, wow, if every rookie everywhere could be like this young man, nobody would ever have a hard time. Like, who's the guy that really knocks you out?
We've had a lot of experience with young players in the last few years, and I think they each are uniquely, have inspired me. Julius Randle's work ethic, Jordan Clarkson's just, scoring in any way, shape, or form, his determination, and then Brandon Ingram, watching him blossom into this player, this force, and then of course the rookies that we have this year, and Kuzma and Hart, and
this year specific,
and Ball. I mean, I just think Lonzo Ball is special, and I know people get mad when you put pressure on a young player, but I think what he's kind of this evolution or evolving NBA game, and he's the next piece in it, because this is a guy that loves to pass the ball, and that he also plays defense, he also rebounds. He's like this complete player that we haven't seen, and I think I used to always talk about how Kobe was rewriting all the Laker history books, and I think Lonzo has an opportunity to really make a mark in Laker land.
You said something interesting to me, and that is nobody likes when you put pressure on somebody, but you just said complimentary things about him. So who puts pressure on a player? Is that Aaron? You worked for the Portland Trailblazers.
I did.
You bounced around the league. It makes you sound like
how dare you?
No, you did not. I took it back, but
yes, I've been
around
the NBA a little bit.
Magic says he's going to have 20 a night. I don't know a player in the league that wouldn't want that said about him. I would want a coach to say that about me, especially if I'm Brandon Ingram or Lonzo Ball.
And any player any guy, not even a player, any guy that you want around your organization, even if it's not as a player, even if it's in the front office in some capacity, if it's the trainer, if it's anybody selling popcorn, it doesn't matter. You want somebody who has that competitiveness and who puts more pressure on themselves, who has higher expectations. Pressure's not the right word. Who has higher expectations for themselves than anybody else could possibly put on them. So when Magic says, I expect Brandon to score 20 a night this year, Brandon says, so I expect myself to score 25 a night.
He's at 16-6 or so. If he played 39 minutes, he'd have 20 a night.
Yes, and if he played and when Lonzo comes back, you will see he's the guy
he's the guy
that's most affected by the absence of Lonzo.
Yeah, yes. Those guys are like spies behind enemy lines. He gets a rebound, and one guy's just hauling butt through Eau Claire. I'm open.
So
that was not exactly a Dennis Miller level
we're talking about Lonzo,
but is there pressure on Lonzo from who puts pressure? I'm not going. It's not worthy of a conversation. But the Lakers, I don't. Do you think the Lakers have put pressure on any Aaron? Do you think they put pressure on any player?
No, I mean I think all of these guys are especially the rookies who are really young guys and the second-year guys. The strange thing about this team, Jordan Clarkson is in his 4th year, I believe, and he is the elder statesman of the Lakers.
25 years old.
He's been around longer, so it's really a unique blend of guys that are this young and are this worldly and have figured out the NBA enough to understand what comes along with being a Los Angeles Lakers. So I don't think that there is anybody on the Lakers who feels external pressure more than they have expectations for themselves.
I agree with that entirely. I'm going to ask you this: out of the rookies, going to Josh Hart, going to and by the way, was it Reggie Miller? It's Josh Hart. Somebody just kept saying like Jim Hart, for like.
Oh, you're talking about today?
No.
Oh,
Like a couple weeks ago.
By the way. Can we like Kevin Harlan or somebody? Can we find some old tape of Kevin Harlan playing some hoop somewhere so we can have him do play-by-play for these players-only games? Because this is.
I don't know what you mean.
The players-only. It was an NBA. It's a Tuesday night thing on NBA TV, and it's transitioned onto TNT, and they have nothing but ex-players calling the games. So it's generally Greg Anthony who does the play-by-play. Dennis Scott does sideline reporting, and you have an amalgamation of guys. In the studio today, it was Weber and Isaiah Thomas and Shaq and Baron Davis.
Where's Orlando Blackman?
And, Chris Weber is the host. But then when you get out to the games, it's Greg Anthony calling play-by-play. Today was Grant Hill and Derek Fisher, I think, was. And it just really
on
needs...
this podcast,
it just really needs traditional play-by-play.
Are they like John Madden? Like, here's a guy, when he runs, he goes faster.
I wish.
Oh, all right. Have you seen a single Lakers rookie for a moment? They're unflappable. I've not. Have you seen
we talked about this in the first.
Lonzo, Kuzma. Have you seen any of these guys like panicking, freaked out, show emotion?
No, and it's the I mean, I've seen like Kuzma is probably the most excitable of the guys.
But I mean the other direction. Like
no, and we talked about this very early, not in the first episode, but in the first. When we were talking about the beginning of the year, and that it was interesting and impressive and probably a silver lining to have Lonzo go up against Patrick Beverley in the opener because he tries to intimidate and he is a bulldog, and there is a target on Lonzo because of the pressure of some other family members, but also because he's just the number 2 pick in the league.
I think that's gone now.
And he was unflappable then. So if you're going to go up against that, then it's going to get easier.
That was a whole lot of guards that first month. Goodness gracious.
So to answer your question, no.
DeMar DeRozan.
I think they have handled themselves incredibly well.
I don't think there's a target on Lonzo anymore at all.
Not anymore.
I think he's just, that's respect on the block, man. That's respect. Well, it's not like, Big Mom, that's Mabel squeaking in the background. Jeanie Buss, who's your favorite Muppet?
I think all of them are. No, but can I just?
I love all my.
Yes,
Muppets.
You can do whatever you want. Yes, whatever you were going to say, you can say.
I would just like to say thank you to all of you guys for having me on the show. First of all, but second for creating this America's Lakers podcast, and my hopes and expectations of this show was people want to talk about Lakers, learn more about the Lakers, hear thoughts and opinions, and I think that you guys are really hitting the mark on that. This is a new show. This is a new whole thing that you've put together from nothing, and I just want to thank you for that because I think it's important for especially this new team as we're building and going forward. It's great to hear the interpretations and the thoughts of 3 people. Corey,
thank you.
Jay and Aaron. You guys do a great job, and I just want to thank you.
I think it was high time to have an official Lakers podcast, and I'm honored, obviously, and I know Aaron and Corey are.
Yes.
And I think we separated from the pack, like certainly numbers-wise, we've separated from the pack, and you subscribers, we thank you for sharing the podcast. And I just kept talking to Aaron. We used to do this back on the radio show. That's not true. And the job is to just stay truthful and don't buy into what ifs, because if I wish was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, and it's just cheap. It's not like just.
There's plenty going on with what's actually going on.
Like
that's interesting enough to talk about.
Like Nerlens Noel was really good tonight for the Lakers. Like, no, he's not. That's not. It didn't happen. Like, it just stop it. Like, that's a goofy thing to say.
And I think, like, with fans, there's angst, in losing, and anxiety about what's going to happen in the future.
And by the way, you feel that. I know you love. You feel that too. You're there too. Yeah,
right. And so it's like it's great to just be able to like hash things out, kind of pull them apart, push them back together, just. Look at it from all different angles, and that's what I love about this show.
Well, we love you, all three. I mean, we really love you. You've been so great to us.
We literally could not do this without you, and the access that you have, access and kindness that you have provided us is we could not do this without you. And I'm going on Friday. By the way, I'm going to Chicago. So.
Aaron, who had the most minutes for the Lakers?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Chicago. Yeah.
Against the Oh, you are going to Chicago?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Chicago.
You going to see your man Joel?
I am after the game. Yeah, I'm going to
go
to
Joel
Milwaukee.
And Aaron are like best friends.
Go see Joel.
Billy, sorry.
The different.
Who played the most moments for Who played the most minutes for the Lakers tonight? Go, quick. Don't think.
Clark.
He's perfect. That's insane.
Really
bitty. No. America's Lakers podcast, friends. Voss or no Voss. I'll come up with more game shows.
And by the way, it was good. He needed to play the most minutes tonight because the Celtics are such a good, fundamental defensive team. You need, and JJ, you and I have talked about this. You need, against those kind of teams, you need guys that can just go get buckets on their own. And Jordan is one of those guys because you're not going to get a lot of stuff out of running your offense. So for him, for Kuzma, and for Randall, Ingram wasn't any good tonight, but he's one of those guys too. You need just those guys that on their own can go get you buckets. So
if Brandon Ingram was going to have 7 points, I'll take 9.
The Lakers missed 10 free throws in the fourth quarter alone and still beat the number 1 team in the East without Lonzo Ball.
I have an exclusive.
Okay.
I know why the Lakers missed their free throws. Before every free throw, nobody can hear it because like a secret pipe in the floor. Tracy Morgan goes, "Yeah, missed a free throw."
Well,
and they go,
Tracy.
Like
can you talk to him for us?
I can't talk to him anymore. We just go in circles about it.
Okay.
He goes, "I'll just pass the mic. Somebody else will yell it." Jordan Clarkson, they needed. Marcus Smart, thank you for taking that jump ball at the end of the game.
It's like the rotation of the earth. What, like that? Like the axis is all wrong. Like the spin is off.
Kenny Smith washing machine ball.
The Joakim Noah. No, that's just
beating the Knicks, beating the Celtics. Just keep beating. That's good. Jeanie Buss, we love you, and you are the best owner in sports. And if people could just see you squirm and the knots in your stomach when there's a loss, and there's been a bunch, and here you are, and I'm speak for Aaron and Corey. You are beloved. I've told this to you last year on the More Stories podcast. If you decided to run for mayor of LA, they would have a special runoff vote tomorrow. You are truly not like one of the most powerful women. Like, I don't like when they quantify like that. You are Los Angeles. You've superseded your father in what it means to be a Los Angelino. And I mean that. Like, you are, and your work with USC, your work with your communities, and you're just vigilant in your love and kindness. And any fan that wants a picture, you get one. Keep your meat hooks off, guys, because Aaron's right around the corner with Billy Hayes lurking. And trust me, you want Aaron.
Yeah, I get less and less friendly in such circumstances.
So let that good in, friends. This is the real truth. Lakers are a good team. Don't sell that stock. You'll be sorry. 108-107. Lakers win. The Lakers win. Aaron, there's the gold standard.
And there's the purple and gold standard.
We love you guys. You know we mean that. See you next time. Thank you, Jeanie Buss.
Thanks for listening to America's Lakers Podcast with Jay Mohr, exclusively on Podcast One Sportsnet. New episodes every Wednesday on PodcastOne.com, the Podcast One app, or subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Trump and Mueller, University president resigns. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. President Trump met with reporters at the White House and said he's willing to talk with special counsel Robert Mueller, who's investigating Russian meddling in the 2016 election, possible ties between the campaign and the Russians, and if there was obstruction in the firing of then FBI Director James Comey.
But I would love to do it.
Would you do that?
You know, again, I have to say, subject to my lawyers and all of that.
Trump also talked about immigration, including a possible path to citizenship for so-called dreamers who were brought to this country illegally as children.
I think it's a nice thing to have the incentive of, after a period of years, being able to become a citizen.
Is it legal status?
We're looking at 10 or 12.
Hours after former sports doctor Larry Nassar was sentenced to up to 175 years in prison for molesting young girls and women when he worked for Michigan State University, school president Luana Simon has announced that she is resigning after many of the victims of school accused the university of mishandling complaints about Nassar. I'm Tim McGuire.